Hey, 4th and 5th graders. My name is Deb, and I'm from the Book House, and I'm going to introduce you to a few books that you're going to find on your book fair this season. Perhaps you've been a huge fan of the I Survived series in the past. You'll find a few of those on your book fair, but if you're just kind of a fan of that general kind of stuff, you may be interested in some of these You Choose books. We've got a You Choose Attack on Pearl Harbor and a You Choose The Titanic. These are great books because you get to read the books over and over, and at the end of each adventure, you can start it over again, and it'll end in a new way each time you read the book, because it tells you, if you want to do this, turn to page 17. If you want to do this, turn to page 28, and then you get to choose your own adventure. Now for the girls. Were you a fan of fairy tales when you were younger? If so, then these are the books for you. These are fairy tales like you haven't seen before. They're very similar to the old tales, yet they add a fresh new spin on those fairy tales. We've got Beauty and the Beast and Sleeping Beauty. They're called Twice Upon a Time books. Now for boys who are sports fans and Mike Lupica fans, if you were a fan of The Underdogs or True Legend, you might enjoy this new series called Game Changers. This is the football book, new out in paperback just this season. If you're also a fan of Tim Green, you will enjoy this book called Unstoppable. The boy in this story comes across many hardships in his life. He's a foster child, he's got a lot of strikes going against him, and absolutely nothing stops him from his dream of pursuing his football career. Excellent book. If you're a fan of some of the sports books that I mentioned earlier, you may be a fan of some non-fiction sports books. We've got Highlight Reel, which is, on the football side, top plays in Super Bowl history. Then we've got basketball, Beasts of the East. It's a reversible book because it also includes the teams from the West as well, and it's just a page that gives you a little bit about each of the different teams on the East and the West Coast. This is a stats book about all sports: football, basketball, baseball, just little stats and history type things. Might be a great book for Dad for Christmas as well. Now a few books for some girls. This is a book called 8 Keys. The girl in this story discovers a key with her name on it. Could it be a key that unlocks one of the barn doors that's up in her uncle's workshop? There are 8 doors. What is it that could be behind each of those doors? This is one of my favorite books by one of my favorite authors. Christopher Paul Curtis has written a book called The Mighty Miss Malone. You will love it from page 1. The girl in the story is spunky and funky. She's got quite a bit of wit. The family comes upon some hardships, and Christopher Paul Curtis does a nice job of reeling you in from the get-go. A page-turner that you definitely won't want to put down. Are you a mystery kind of fantasy fan? This is called Behind the Bookcase. And behind the bookcase at Sarah's grandmother's house, strange things are happening. Grandma has left Sarah an unfinished note, letting her know that strange things are happening. And Sarah goes into the world behind the bookcase and finds mythical creatures and dark tales upon her. Now moving into some Iowa Children's Choice books. This one has been a very popular one this year called Belly Up. At the theme park, Henry the Hippo, I think is his name, has gone belly up. Something has happened to him, and they're not certain exactly what has happened, but they're expecting foul play. If you are a fan of that book, you may also enjoy a book by the same author. His name is Stuart Gibbs, called Spy School. My son just read this book this last weekend and gobbled it up in a weekend. Page-turner, suspenseful, adventure, action-packed. Another book on the Iowa Children's Choice that's probably a little bit geared more towards girls is called Close to Famous. Foster loves to bake, and she dreams of having her own bakery someday, but she and her mother have kind of run away to live in a small town, and she's wondering how she's ever going to have a bakery in this small town that they have come to. And again, if you're a fan of Joan Bauer, who's the author of this book, you may find yourself liking this other book by Joan Bauer called Almost Home. It's a great little puppy on the cover that kind of grabs you from the get-go. Peg Carrot lovers will like this scary tale, also on the Iowa Children's Choice book cart this year, called Ghost Dog Secrets. This book that I wanted to feature is called Here Lies Link. You will like this book for its Iowa ties. Link has a mom that loves graveyards, tombstones in particular. In fact, when Link was little, it was nothing for him to find himself laying on top of a tombstone wrapped up in a blanket. And now that he's older, he is ready to go to school, and he wants to make some friends while he's at school. And he's a little bit nervous about having this mom that's so crazy about tombstones and graveyards, and kind of tries to keep that on the down low so that his friends won't find out. Great thing about this book is it's set in Iowa at the Oakland Cemetery in Iowa City, where the Black Angel grave can be found. Lots of kids are fans of graphic novels, and Big Nate is no exception to the graphic novel genre. And if you are a fan of Big Nate, and perhaps Diary of a Wimpy Kid, which is also coming out here very soon and will be coming to your book fair, you may also find that you like the book called Stick Dog. Diary of a Wimpy Kid kind of format, just kind of fun, crazy kind of book. You will find that you'll enjoy that as well. Perhaps you've heard about The Strange Case of the Origami Yoda. This book's been out for a couple of years. It's another fun, kind of crazy. If you're a Diary of a Wimpy Kid fan, you'll probably like this type of book. Not too far behind that book came out a book called Darth Paper Strikes Back. And this year's brand new book, if you have liked those two, is The Surprise Attack of Jabba the Puppet. Any of those three books will make great reads. For fantasy fans, this book is just new out in paperback. It's called Seven Wonders, Colossus Rising. And in this book we find out that Jack is going to die. To cure himself, he needs to find 7 magic loculi that have the power to cure him. They are hidden in the 7 wonders in the ancient world, and Jack must find them in order to cure himself. A couple of other fantasy books that you may enjoy. This is the first one in a series of books called The Golden Door by Emily Rada. And this has been a very popular book as well, just out in paperback within the last year, called The False Prince. Dan Gutman fans will enjoy these action, fast-paced books. Book 1 is Mission Unstoppable, and Book 2 is Never Say Genius. You'll find both of those on your book fair as well. If you have been a fan of Jeff Stone in the past and all of his 5 Ancestors books, he has a new series out, and this one is just out in paperback this year. This is Book 1 of Out of the Ashes, the 5 Ancestors series. And for non-fiction lovers, we've got some great things. This one's called That's Creepy, and inside you'll find all kinds of creepy, disgusting, gross facts. This one is an courageous, canine book. Amazing Animal Hero Stories. And these are just fun little tidbits and snidbits, weird but true, kind of amazing facts. You'll find all different kinds of amazing facts to test your friends upon. Enjoy the book fair. You'll find these and many other books on your book fair.